Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. I'm your host, Chewy Plays Nintendo, joined by my co-host, Sergio. And today we're going to be talking about, since it's been a little bit, the Phase 2 of the Rover event, a little bit of what's coming up, the recent Animal Crossing patent is it a patent? No, it was a trademark, of course. Yeah, the Animal Crossing trademark that came through. And yeah, so that's probably going to take all of our time because this is big stuff. Oh yeah, and the new event that's coming up, of course. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started for today. The Rover event, Phase 2. So what were your thoughts on the second part, Sergio?
Hi, thank you, Tree. Yes, hello, everybody. Didn't that take a turn for the worse? I mean, we were gushing about how much we were liking phase one of the event, and we were very hopeful for phase two, looking for new items, new creatures, new flowers. Oh man, that was rough.
Yeah, I was stunned. I was like, I don't know how they went from it being the best event that they've ever had to just being the worst event they've ever had.
Right.
Like it was such a turnaround because the first one, like you said, we were gushing and it was just like every single thing in this pocket camp garden was going great. You'd plant seeds, you'd get rewarded for that. You'd grow flowers, you'd get rewarded for that. Everything you did, you would get rewarded. And then phase 2 rolls around and it is completely different.
Right, right. They just tweaked it in the worst possible ways. Everything was so hard to get. Everything took so long. It was
Yeah,
just not
so
good.
my big thing is exactly that. Like everything was just harder. And so it started even from the get-go, getting the seeds for the new flowers, and they were white. What were the flowers again?
Mm, White
I
dahlias?
can't.
Yes, dahlias.
Yeah, white dahlias. So from the very get-go, getting those seeds was hard. So you only got the white dahlia seeds. If you got lucky doing chores for somebody, that was a way to do it. Which was how you had to do it initially because you couldn't do it the second way. And the second way was when you would catch a butterfly from those white dahlias, it was either the gold or the snow. I forget what
Right.
butterflies they were. I just remember being angry at them the whole time. Um, but yeah, if you gave those butterflies that you caught to somebody, you would get more seeds. So right from the get-go, I was like, man, how am I supposed to plant these flowers if I can't get these things? And then from there, it was even harder because I think the time it took for them to grow was a little longer, so you actually had to water them. You
Right.
had to keep track of your flowers and make sure that they were watered. And then from there, it still stayed hard because the spawn rates were so low. Um, and what I mean by that is like say you planted 10 white dahlias. Right after that, it was like maybe 5 butterflies would show up,
Right, if
you
we're
know?
lucky, right.
Yeah, if you're lucky. And then to put the cherry on top, the catch rates were abysmal. I I caught like one for every 5 that I would try to
Right,
catch.
right. Definitely less than half all the time.
Every single time. It was terrible.
Right.
And so not and it doesn't even end there. The kicker was you needed 10 for each reward. And I think the last reward you got was at 40 butterflies, but uh, everything was just so hard and
Right.
it completely destroyed that event at the end.
Right, right. Like you mentioned, I mean, I don't recall the game telling you how to get the white dahlias from the get-go. I remember spending a lot of time, doing what we were doing on the previous event, and then, oh, actually, you have to do requests, and you might get a few. So it was really, really tough. You described it perfectly how every step of the process was very difficult.
Yeah, and I think they would have just done. a little bit better if, say, instead of making the seeds really hard to get, just let us buy them. Because I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
if the goal was to get us to spend leaf tickets, which they accomplished 100% for me, I spent. I think I had like 460 or 70 leaf tickets. By the end of this event, I had 62.
Oh,
I went through everything. And I mean, part of it was I was busier than normal, so I
right.
wasn't logging on as much to actually like do chores for people and plant the seeds. So by the last day, I was just like, all right, I need butterflies, so I'm gonna spend leaf tickets.
Yeah, right.
Um,
And it was what, just over a week. So definitely, like you said, if you were busier or if something came up, you really wouldn't have enough time to catch up unless you spend leaf tickets, which they made us do it.
yeah, I don't even think it was a week. I think it was like half a week. I think it was Wednesday to Sunday.
Yeah, okay, that's right. That's right.
So you put like a 5 day limit on this event, and that makes it even worse. So much of it had me so angry. um, but yeah, so my thinking is if the goal was to get us to spend leaf tickets to improve these catch rates, at least some of the steps before that
Hmm,
had to be easier.
right,
So getting the seeds, if that were easier, I wouldn't have minded so much. Like if I just had these seeds so I could plant them, that would have been fine.
right,
They could have like maybe made the rewards for trading in flowers a little bit harder to get.
right,
Um, but at least like we would have seen more opportunities to see the butterflies.
right. Or even give us an option to trade the blue and red dahlias onto white ones for, 5 for 1 or 3 for 1.
Yeah, exactly. Cause like by then I had completed getting all of the rewards for those flowers.
Yeah,
So if I could have just traded them in and gotten seeds for the white dahlias, that would have been fine.
yeah, right. Hmm.
Yeah, but I think that was the biggest hurdle was just like getting started with that event. That second half was really hard, and then it was such a grind the entire time.
Right, right. And one of the very special items that everybody wanted was the Rover mug, and it wasn't it wasn't easy to get. Like everything was very difficult. I think if this second phase of the event had been repeat items, that would have been so much better because it would have, even if they kept it at the same difficulty, if you missed out, you were only missing out on duplicate items that you already had via phase one. But no, there were special items that you could only get if you really spend either time or money with lift tickets on this second phase.
Yeah, and I think there was like one repeat item. I forget which it was.
I think it was
Um,
the mug itself you could get to, and then the screen.
yeah, so it was like the screens you could get multiples. So in total, you could get like three screens
Right,
and two mugs.
right,
The only thing I didn't get was the second mug and the 40 leaf tickets at the very end. And
right.
I was just like, forget that.
Yeah,
I
right.
spent all my leaf tickets. I'm not going to spend more to try to get
Right, you
40
spend like 400
tickets.
to get 40.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. On top of that, like, it was expensive to get a butterfly.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
so you could get a butterfly, you had 100% catch rate if you asked Lloyd to do it. And if Lloyd did it, he charged you so much. It was 10 leaf tickets per butterfly.
Right.
And you need 10 butterflies to get a reward, so that's 40 leaf tickets right there.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Amazing. No, is it more than that?
Right. I mean,
It's
10,
100 leaf tickets.
right, to get an item, and there was what, 6 items per each?
Yeah,
Right.
which is it's so much money. Like if you were spending money on this, then I think I did the math. It was like $5 to get a single item.
Oof.
which is rough. That
Right.
the I don't think that flies in the Animal Crossing fandom just because, we're used to paying, New Leaf when it came out was $40 and you got a full-fledged game. And today it's $20. um so yeah, I don't know. It just seems like so much trouble to get a thing, and I know they're trying to make money off of the app, but I don't know. I don't think it's working. I think it's too high a buy-in, and people know that.
Right. Like you said, I think people are figuring out that you don't have to spend money to buy Leaf tickets before this event. So everybody was very reluctant. That's why there was so much complaints and backlash to Nintendo. That's why I had a thought. I'm figuring Nintendo is going to take that into account and they're going to know that people are just really not gonna spend money for Leaf tickets. So what they might do is they might do different type of DLC, like different areas, or you pay directly to get new villagers or maybe new items. So instead of spending money to get Leaf tickets, you spend money to get these new items or events directly.
Yeah. So did you end up spending any money for Leaf tickets to finish it up, or did you just use the ones that you had saved?
Oh, I did. I definitely did because I didn't want to risk it. I wanted to get all the items. I think I got the second to last packet of Leaf tickets that it offers you. I think it's about $21. I got that before the event started, and I had 1,200 tickets. By the end of pretty much the event, I had 400.
Wow.
So yeah,
Yeah, so you
I
spent a
spent a lot.
lot.
Yeah.
Wow. And yeah, the packets, like you're saying, like $21 for that same price you could get a copy of New Leaf.
Right. So when I got it, I figured, well, that'll cover this event and a lot of others, and then I was only left with 400. That was nothing.
Yeah, that's like almost more than half
Yeah.
of your
Yep.
stuff, which is pretty crazy. So did you end up getting all of the items? Did you get that last 40 Leaf ticket one or?
Yeah, I did. Even with spending the money and getting the lift tickets, it was still pretty challenging. I got the last item on the last day, very close, like a few hours before it ended, and then we were just sharing our final butterflies on the Discord.
Yeah, we did a good job of that. I think because everybody was using Leaf tickets, like you
Right.
could just pass on the love once again.
Right. Right. Everybody
So,
wanted at least one mug.
yeah, so anytime I got butterflies, I would catch them all and then just give everybody as many as they needed.
Right. Right.
Which was good because I think in that way our Leaf tickets came in handy, where we could share it with everybody else too.
Right. Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I think so. I essentially like looked at what the rewards were, um, and then I got to the point where it was like I needed to get to the 30 mark to get the second Rover Cup, and then the 40 mark to get the 40 Leaf tickets.
Hmm.
And I was like, well, I have one Rover Cup. I don't need two. I would like to, but I'm not going to spend any more of my Leaf tickets to accomplish that.
Right. Right.
Um, so in the end, I was just like, you know what? Whatever I catch, I catch. That's fine. I probably won't make it.
Right.
And I didn't.
Right. And that was the sentiment on our Discord for sure. Everybody just gave up after they got at least the one mug.
Yeah. Yeah, so and I think that's a good place to stop. I'm
Yeah.
glad they at least put like some of the duplicate stuff at the end.
Right.
Yeah, just to save you the trouble. Um, but yeah, yeah. Overall, I don't know. I'm really glad. I guess Nintendo has acknowledged everyone's complaints from this.
Hmm.
Because that's not gonna fly. Like I said, $2 gets you 20 Leaf tickets, which is two butterflies.
Oh,
That's not even an item. That's a
right.
fifth of the way to getting a butterfly.
Right. Right.
So I think in total it's like $25 for an item.
Right. And even if you paid
Or
to
no,
get
sorry.
every butterfly, getting it is actually still the hard part. Getting the seeds and getting it to spawn.
Yeah. and it's time consuming.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like more demanding from a mobile game than I think it needs to be.
right.
Yeah, because I mean, I've now that that event's over and the new event has started. I've already finished the new event. That one
Yeah,
was pretty quick.
yeah.
Now, but I felt like I was just playing a lot, and so since then I've kind of dropped my playtime a little bit and done it a little more low key
Right.
and more relaxed, which I think that's the fun of Animal Crossing. Like it's a relaxing game.
Right, right. You go at your own pace, and you know when you need to go back to it to not miss anything. That's how it should be.
Yeah. So I guess what are your final thoughts on this event?
Well, I mean, I was happy at first, but I think overall it's a little disappointing with the saving grace that they did acknowledge the backlash, and we're looking forward to a new event that hopefully reflects what Nintendo is going to change about their approach to it.
Yeah, I'm really hoping they address that and just make sure that it's just not as hard. Like I said, there were so many barriers in this event that kept me from enjoying the second half.
Right.
Yeah, and so I also want to I guess for me, my final thoughts is that I hope this shows to Nintendo that their Leaf ticket system right now is it's expensive.
Hmm.
I would have loved if it only cost me 2 to 5 Leaf tickets to catch a butterfly.
Right. Hmm.
I think 10 was way too high a number. I hope they realize that it's just like too expensive to use Leaf tickets. And they would just make more if they lower that price, I
Yeah.
think.
Hmm.
Cause yeah, like if you're paying $20 to get a set of items, I just don't think that's worth it when you can pay 20 the same amount for a copy of New Leaf Welcome Amiibo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And out of anything, like I hope this shows Nintendo that like the Animal Crossing fan base is not willing to pay for this and that they really need to just come out with the Switch game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cuz I was talking about it on the Discord, but I was like, "You know what? I'm since like halfway through me owning a 3DS, like I've gone digital with my games. Um, so I would buy this new Switch game digitally, but knowing that there's some really nice box art out there
Yeah.
and kind of wanting the cartridge too, just to see what the artwork is like on it, I'd probably buy 2 copies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's already so much more money than I've spent on this app, you know? And I already know so many people who have gotten multiple copies of New Leaf so they can have multiple towns
Yeah.
like you,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah, and I'm constantly thinking like, oh, my Nintendo, they have that discount for New Leaf on digital. Maybe
Mm.
I'll finally get a digital version of it and start a new town because I've had 2 regrets since the dawn, since June, is it June 9th,
June 9th, that's right.
2013?
Yep.
I've had 2 regrets with my very first town that will always remain because I'm never going to delete that town. Um, but yeah, we can talk about that a little bit. But while we're on the topic of Animal Crossing for the Nintendo Switch, let's go ahead and talk about some big news that happened. I want to say it was a week ago, but
Yes.
Nintendo has filed a new trademark for Animal Crossing. And one of the points that is pretty big is that the updated trademark includes using the series for a variety of purposes. And these purposes are software for a home video game system, a portable system, and smartphone devices. So you know this can only mean one thing.
Yeah, it sounds very specific.
Yeah, we're getting Animal Crossing on the Wii U, another 3DS title, and another smartphone game. No,
Um,
I'm totally kidding. This has Switch written all over it.
you
So what
got
do
my
you think?
hopes up for Amiibo Festival too.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's coming to 3DS.
Oh, nice.
'Cause they've done that before
Oh
now.
yeah.
Like Yoshi's Woolly World is now a 3DS
Right,
game.
right.
So you know the only natural step after that is Amiibo Festival. So what do you think? Do you think that them filing a trademark for a home video game system slash portable system, do you think that sounds like we're getting a Switch title soon?
Oh yeah, definitely. And then the smartphone devices bit of the trademark, that just points to some sort of connection with Pocket Camp, I think. So I mean, they're paving the way. They know we know, so they're teasing us.
Yeah, I they know that it's what we want. I keep thinking back of the Pocket Camp Direct when they just destroyed my dreams before I could even have them, but they were like, there will be no mention of Animal Crossing on Switch or anything else.
Right.
It's just the mobile app. So there go your dreams. We've stabbed them. um, but yeah, also because this has been a long time rumor with the app, but it's that it would have some sort of connection with another Animal Crossing game,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And I mean, if it's not the 3DS one, the only other logical choice would be that there's going to be a new Switch game that this has some sort of interaction with.
Right.
And I don't know, I keep wondering just like how the two can be combined.
Right. I mean, just an idea right off the bat is maybe all the exterior and the camping part of the game is going to be on Pocket Camp. At the same time, I would want to be able to do all that on the Switch version as well.
Yeah, I really. So, my big thing with the Switch was I was pretty disappointed when it said it wasn't going to have Street Pass.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And so, I guess I'm kind of wondering if you're going to get a sort of function in your Switch game where you go to a campsite and then you see um, you know, how different peoples have their campsites set up or even just their camper,
Hmm.
you know? Because I don't know, I'm tied to this idea that the entire Animal Crossing series, you've always been taken to your town, you know?
Hmm.
You've been taken to Haken. um, but I'm just tied to this idea that instead on this one the big thing is you're going to be driving yourself in your
Yeah.
camper
Yep.
to your new place where you're going to live, you know? Um, on Animal Crossing road tour. Road trip. Animal Crossing road
Ooh.
trip. Which reminds me, we've got to mention if for anybody that wants to participate, we are gonna have, I guess, a contest.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would consider a contest, but you can write down your ideas for what this next Animal Crossing game is going to be called. We might have to limit it, like how many guesses you
Right.
get. Um, Maybe we'll go with 10 because I find it very unlikely that anybody's gonna guess what the new name is.
Right.
But we're still deciding on prizes. But I'm thinking, you know, an eShop card that'll get you Animal
Yeah.
Crossing.
Right. That sounds
I
perfect.
think that's of course an excellent prize.
Yeah.
So and like I said, I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to guess it because I I'm constantly sitting around and going like, huh, what would the next Animal Crossing game be
Yeah.
called? And I come up with the most terrible names I've ever heard. And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't play that if that were the title. um, But yeah, so the Discord, if you ever want to join, that'll definitely have some information. We're still working it out, so just a preliminary announcement right there.
Right, right. So now you have road trip, which I really like actually.
Yeah, that this one actually
Yeah,
sounds not too
mark it
bad.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go claim that before this episode comes out. Um, anyway, so yeah, it's exciting that people are like, there's a trademark and it's getting into the news cycle. I think it's just showing that people are pretty hyped for the game.
Yeah, and part of the trademark, which I was very equally excited as, the new game that we know it's coming, but the trademark also mentioned board games, card games, plush figures. So Nintendo is thinking big, because Animal Crossing should be big. They could go all out.
Yeah, I think I never mentioned this, but one of my first ideas with the plush figures was we have three brand new characters
Hmm.
who work at OK Motors, and I'm just like, yes, plush figures or plush dolls of those,
Right.
I'm in.
Plush
I
amiibo.
Yeah, so they've already got like so much new stuff to work with that I I don't know. I think this trademark really points at a lot of really cool things that we're gonna get.
Yeah.
But the most important, of course, is Animal Crossing Switch.
Right, right. That's where everything should be leading to.
Yeah. So I guess just on that topic, do you have any updates to your idea of when Animal Crossing Switch is gonna be coming out or announced, I guess?
I'm still hopeful for a direct of sorts, either April or May. I think if we don't hear anything, maybe by March, we might get the game announced at E3 for early next year release.
Yeah. Um, I guess right now I'm leaning toward a fall release of the game.
Okay.
And I think they could really announce it anytime. Um, I think, I, I guess part of it stems from they had a long time to make a new Animal Crossing game. And I know that a lot of them moved on to work on Splatoon,
Mhm.
which both of us love, and we were just playing earlier today,
Right.
so we're still getting a lot of great times out of that. But I think Splatoon, because it had a lot of success on the Wii U for as successful as you can be on the Wii U.
Right.
um, but I think Splatoon 2 has been especially successful. So I really think that Splatoon is at the point where it has a dedicated team working on it.
Right. Hmm.
I don't think it's mixed in with the Animal Crossing team as much anymore. Especially with it being like mostly updates, like they're adding new weapons, maps, and I honestly think a lot of that stuff is ready because it's been data mined already.
Right. Yes. Hmm.
So, like, I think we've known what weapons have been coming for the past 4 months at
Yeah. Hmm.
least, which is a long time. So, this really tells me, I guess it doesn't tell me, but it makes me feel like Animal Crossing is for sure in the works and it might be closer than we think.
Right. And at first you might think, well, yeah, it's been a while, but there's been at least two spin-offs, Happy Home Designer, Amiibo Festival, and actually three, well, with Pocket Camp. However, I was doing a little bit of research and I noticed that um, the big team or some of the key players in the Animal Crossing, like the director or even Kazumi Totaka, they did not really do as much work on those spin-offs. So they were sort of side projects, I guess, for the team. They shouldn't have taken resources away from a game that is, this fall it's going to be 6 years since New Leaf came out in Japan. That's a long time.
Yeah. And I really think uh, this is like a new Nintendo that we're looking at.
Oh yeah,
So the big thing with New Leaf was it was announced almost 3 years before it actually came out.
yeah,
And I think we're looking at a Nintendo that isn't going to do that anymore, you
Hmm.
know?
Hmm.
I think we're going to get news. Um, I know we were all expecting like a big January direct. Like, I for sure was expecting a big January direct that just went over the year, you know?
Right.
And for the most part, I feel like we're still waiting on that. Like,
Yeah.
because the mini direct, like, it only really covered spring and two games in the summer, and
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the two summer games were, because they were smaller titles, you know.
Right.
Um, I still think that Nintendo still has to plot out the year and let us know what's gonna happen. And judging by us not getting like a big January thing, I think we're gonna have a pretty quick turnaround time on announcement to release.
Right, right. It's definitely doable. Announce it at E3 and it's coming this fall. Like you said, this Nintendo is different. They're being very conscious about worldwide releases. So it's doable. I don't want to get my hopes up yet. It's doable, but you know, I want to play it safe.
Yeah, I'm usually that. I go back and forth on this all the time,
Oh
where I'm
yeah.
like, you know what? It's got to come out then. This is all I want. And then I go to the other side and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, don't get your hopes up,
Yeah.
everybody. It's going to be rough." I think just last week I was like, "Oh, it's going to be a 2019 game, isn't it?" And then this week I'm just like, "Nope,
Nope.
it's fall. It's coming out." So I will hear me jump back and forth on this the whole time. Um, but I don't know. City Folk, though it was more of a port than any of the other titles,
Mhm.
that did have a quick turnaround time where it was announced at E3 and then it came out that November.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so it's happened before. It can happen again.
Yeah.
But I guess my thing is just like like how long are they gonna want us to wait?
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I'm leaning toward a March announcement, um, just because I don't know. I guess it could be.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm just gonna say it. I'm leaning toward a March announcement and a fall release.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
can see it. Hmm.
yeah. But but like I said, like this whole year is essentially a mystery. All I really know is that Kirby is coming out in March. And that's like the only Nintendo thing we know.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. But Kirby games always come out.
Yeah, that's right. And those come out quick.
Yeah, they come out quick. They're pretty consistent. They're always making new Kirby games. Um, so yeah, I don't
Yep.
know. It seems like the fast, quick, easy title that they can come out with.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So so yeah, I guess pretty quick. Did you want to talk about your Pocket Camp progress?
Sure. So I reached level 50. That's my latest level. And right now, like you said, we beat the current event, the winter sports event. Yeah, I pretty much got everything, and it was fairly quickly. I think they're letting us relax from that second phase of the Rover event. So I'm focusing on other things. I'm doing like a little. Actually, I really like it. It's a stage for KK and different instruments next to him. If you're listening and you want to check it out, visit my campsite. Go for it. It's very nice.
Yeah,
And
I real quick, I saw the photo you posted of that, and I was
yeah,
like, "That's looking pretty cool."
yeah, yeah.
I really liked what you had going with it.
And then the Vidorium on the right side is still it's still in progress. There's more beds, but I want like a nicer layout. Definitely when we're able to put two rocks, that's gonna help.
Yeah. Um, the other thing, I guess you mentioned the winter event, and it's funny because like this event started right after the butterfly fiasco, and I was worried because it was only a week. Um, the event's over pretty soon, I
Yeah,
think. Um, but luckily, like it was really easy to complete. The thing that was pretty cool about it was this is our first like event specific amenity.
yeah. Hmm.
And it's exactly like the skateboard ramp, but it's a snowboard ramp. So it's pretty cool. It only took 100 snowflakes to build, and then 150 to level it up to its max level of
Mm.
2.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a quick event. I already got everything. I was glad it was just all like clothing and stuff, so I didn't really worry about making a second thing of anything.
Right, that's right. I mean, you can have everything, but like you said,
hmm
it's, you have one and that's about it.
Yeah, you don't need more than one item
Right.
of clothing in this game.
Right.
I've noticed, which makes it like I really hope they improve one of the level ups. Um, I want to say it's like the second level up where you get their clothing,
Yes.
and I'm like, I already had that shirt.
Yeah.
I don't need another one.
Right, right. And
Um,
sometimes they themselves wear a shirt that another villager that you might already have. So it's like you can have up to three copies of one.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're addressing that with an update that we're gonna talk about a little later. But yeah, just remind me about that.
Yeah.
So as far as my progress, yeah, I finished that winter sports event. I've now built every amenity,
Hmm.
and I haven't maxed them out, but I don't know if I will.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, they add another layer of amenities above that,
Hmm.
then that'll be the incentive. But as of right now, I'm just like, I'm fine with all the amenities. My main focus now is inviting every villager to my town. I always say town. I mean campsite.
Right.
Um, and so I guess I actually have I want to say like 20 villagers that I can invite right now.
Oh, nice.
And I'm not doing it because I'm waiting for the host the most event.
Right. Right. Makes sense.
Yeah, which I already have way more than I need, but
Right.
might as well wait.
Yeah.
um yeah, but right now I like I said I saw a photo of what you've done with your place
Hmm.
and I'm like I haven't redecorated mine in so long. I really need to update my campsite and my camper. Oh, my camper is terrible. um, so yeah, that's kind of where I am. But like I said, I mentioned the Pocket Camp update that is coming. So did you want to talk about anything that you're excited about with this update?
Sure. So we know it's coming. Actually, your application should already be updated, but it's not, they're locking it. It hasn't taken place just yet. And that being said, we have already noticed some of the improvements. For example, when you're visiting somebody and you go to the screen that shows you the option to either visit their campsite or their garden, you can see at the bottom below the garden if they need watering, if their plants or flowers need watering. I think that's a really nice feature.
Yeah, and that one's already going, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so I kind of noticed that. I looked and I was like, oh, this garden's ready for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
that
this
helps.
garden's not ready. Yeah, so that's really nice. Yeah, I think overall they need like some things. I'm hoping this means the market box update's coming pretty soon
Yes. Hmm.
because the market box is kind of hard to use. It would just be nice to be able to see what people have before you go over there.
Right. Hmm.
Today I was struggling trying to find some crucian carp because I had one, there wasn't any in my river, and so I was just jumping from campsite to campsite to try to find it.
Right, right.
Yeah. Um, so the one thing I wanted to mention with the update is that we know we're going to be able to dress our villagers,
Hmm.
and I'm hoping that this is giving us some more to do with that extra clothing that we have.
Okay.
Um, so, for example, if I dress up a villager in this shirt that I have, I'm hoping that that'll mean that it's occupied, like you can't use it again.
Right. Hmm.
And so that will give you the incentive of buying more than one of it. any type of clothing.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. I want that. I need it.
Yeah, and then I mean, people could take this pretty far, but like I've seen a campsite where they essentially turned it into an office and everybody is working at a desk
Yeah.
and everything. And I was like, oh, what if you just gave them all the same outfit and they were wearing like a
Yeah,
uniform?
yeah.
Or you could do that with those prison ones too.
Mhm.
Yeah, where your animals are just in jail. Poor animals. Um, but yeah, I think that would be a pretty fun way to change it up.
Yeah, that'd be awesome in a good way, like you said, to use those duplicates.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so we have a new event coming up, and it's the Gothic Festival. Did you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So this is gonna be. I know this sounds scary, but let's go through it. This is gonna be just like Rover's event in a way.
It is
However, this
scary.
is this is gonna be by Lottie. We're getting Lottie in our games, and instead of butterflies, there's gonna be a creepy creature. They call it known as bats. So it's gonna be four different types of bats. It's gonna be Gothic bat, Golden Gothic bat, Ruby Gothic bat, and Diamond Gothic bat. We're also getting three different types of flowers: the Gothic red roses, Gothic purple roses, and Gothic fusion roses. This is also going to be separated into two phases. So definitely think of it as Rover's event. However, Nintendo told us they listened, and we should we should see a tweaking of the spawn rates and how to get the seeds. It should be much easier.
Yeah, I'm hoping it is. The one thing that I'm kind of sad about is that we're catching bats, and mostly I'm just sad because I'm hoping this doesn't mean that we're not going to see bats as a villager.
Good point.
Yeah, because I'd really like I don't know. At one point, I saw a photo of a giant bat, and I think it was like a fox face, or I forget what the name
Hmm.
of it was, but I was like, "Oh, it's kind of cute." So I thought it would be super cute to have little bat creatures living in your village.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really hoping this is a precursor to that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm kind of excited to see how this event goes cuz like I said, I really appreciated the first half of the event. I thought it was well done, everything rewarded you and it felt like worth it to do everything, you know?
Right, right. It got a lot of us playing a lot again.
Yeah. And so I'm hoping that they fix up the second half of the event
Mm,
or you know, maybe like not even split it up into two parts and
right.
just make that like super hard butterfly available from the get-go.
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah, cause like I said, we had 5 days to catch 40 of these things, and the capture rate was just so low.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited to see how they change it up and just how they fix all of the ways they wronged us.
Right, right. So we're still not sure if we're gonna be able to share bats, but I mean, I'm hoping they keep everything from the rover event so that we're visiting a lot of gardens all the time, and like you said, we get rewarded for every little thing. That would be really cool. They also announced a lot of new items. There's an image out there, a video actually. There's a silk top hat that I definitely want.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm already such a fan of this game solely because of like the new things that they're adding. Um like they're adding all of these new type pieces of furniture, but also on top of that, like the amenities are a great idea. I think it really expands what you can do with public works projects, you know?
Right.
So I'm hoping in the new game we'll just see more interaction with those items that you build
Yeah.
in your town.
Yep.
Um, yeah, it'd be cool to like build a little water slide
Yeah.
and
Right.
see people go swimming. And yeah, that's what I really want to see in the new game. I want to see um, just like new activities that the villagers do.
Yeah, like you said, with the public works, and then also, at certain times in Pocket Camp, when you fulfill a request, they invite you to have a smoothie or to check out their bug collection. I'm hoping there's something like that on the main Switch game coming up.
Yeah, that would be great. It'd be so perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting so excited for this game. Like I said, today I'm in the camp of this is coming out in the fall. And if it doesn't, I'll just be even more sad. But but I don't know. I stand by the Nintendo strategy of putting out mobile apps that are there to promote the next game that's coming.
Right, right.
Because we've seen it pretty consistently. Fire Emblem came out on it mobile, and then they got a new game. Mario, same thing.
Same.
So I really think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. That's a. It's our hope. It doesn't die.
Yeah. So Sergio, you had something special that you wanted to tell people, and it's about Patreon. And so, what is your plan for patrons?
Yeah. So I'm offering for our patrons to prepare some sort of digital art of their choosing. My main thinking is, for example, you have your favorite characters or villagers. Like, here's an example. Like, I'm the number one KK Slider fan, and I've always wanted to see him like wearing like a soccer jersey or something. So I kind of made one, and I figured, well, why not offer that to our patrons? Maybe they want to see one of their favorite characters doing something or in a certain setting. They might want it as an avatar. They might want it like as a phone or a desktop wallpaper. So we're offering that service. It's a little extra perk for our patrons.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I definitely will want an avatar type of thing in the future. So I think it's a cool offering. So yeah, I'm happy that you've offered this to everybody.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. My pleasure. And take your time, think about what you want. We'll get we'll spend time on it. It'll turn out good.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you everybody for listening. Next episode should be in a couple weeks. We're hoping to have a little special thing happen. So I think it's going to be worth tuning in, and I think by then we'll also have I guess more solidified plans on how this contest is going to work. As far as like making your guesses for what the new Animal Crossing will be titled. But yeah, if you want to support the show, you can visit us on patreon.com/ChewiePlaysNintendo. Like Sergio has said, there are a bunch of cool things that you can get. Some digital art could be there. Outside of that, like you get my friend codes to play New Leaf. We're actually going to be playing New Leaf with our current patrons. So I think Sergio, you'll probably put that up or stream it, right?
Yes, definitely. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of cool things that we're trying to do with our patrons. Definitely want to make it worth it. It's pretty cheap, just $1 to back us. Eventually, I'm hoping we'll have different tiers when we have some cool merch or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for listening. Like always, you'll find links in the description if you're on YouTube or listening on SoundCloud. And I think, I don't know, I've been trying to figure out how iTunes does it. But if you find this on iTunes through a web browser, we have links there too. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't really know. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you pretty soon.
Thank you. Bye bye.